What is the most powerful search engine on Earth? The first name that would pop into your mind is Google, and you're not wrong. From being a university project to ruling search engines like Bing and Yahoo, Google has done a great job of staying at the top of the search engine market. But how were they able to do this? The plan was to create a search engine that used links and other factors to organize information around the world, rank the pages that are most important, and make the data universally useful. So far, this has evolved to almost every aspect of the internet, with billions of users on Google daily. Google has gone beyond being a search engine to tracking our activities and integrating itself seamlessly into every aspect of our lives. Today's video is all about how this startup grew into a tech giant and is controlling almost all aspects of the internet. To understand this dominance, let's take it from the top. How it got started. Google didn't always start as Google, but in fact had a different name, Backrub. In 1995, Larry Page and Sergey Brin were working on their dissertation as usual. This project was to find out better ways of searching for things online. Guess what they discovered? They realized they could measure how important a website was based on how many other sites were linked to them. So if you wanted to find out, you would have to go backward, hence the name Backrub, named by Larry. In fact, he even called the web page ranking system PageRank, which was derived from his name. Not many people know this since it works so well. So there's an idea and a system in place, while Larry and Sergey decided it was time to take it up a notch. They went around in search of a company that would buy into their idea. Bet those companies wish they'd taken them up on the offer. First, it was Yahoo. And yes, they of course passed up on it. They met with Alta Vista as well, a company that was considered the king of search at the time. They passed up on it because they felt like it would be next to impossible to make money from a search engine. Then they met up with the CEO of Excite, who also passed up on it because they felt like Backrub was too good. At the time, making money online depended a lot on how long people get to stay on your page. However, Backrub worked so well, but sent people away quickly. With these rejections, Larry and Sergey decided it was time to build their own site properly. They gave up the name Backrub and took up Google, which was gotten from the mathematical term Googleplex. Next was to set up an office, and this was done in the garage of Susan Wojcicki, who was an Intel manager back then. By the way, she's currently the CEO of YouTube, so that's some amazing growth. Anyway, Larry and Sergey picked up a lot of other amazing people to join their team, including Marissa Mayer, Harry Chung, and Urs Hazel. Urs Hazel made Google's search engine faster, and it was a great idea. The founders of Google wanted to make money from this platform by selling ads, selling a hardware product for companies to search their own operations, and licensing their searches. While some thought that ads would be only a distraction, we can all see the results today with advertising. Google went for small blocks of text in a world filled with banner ads and pop-ups. This was one of the many ways they started settling themselves apart from the others, as their focus was on maximizing user experiences. Conquering the tech industry. Just as we mentioned earlier, most search engines in the 90s were focused on monetizing searches, but none did it like Google. Take a look at Yahoo as a good example. For a while, their paid search service, Overture, worked based on who could pay the most. Of course, what this means is that the top spot would always be taken up by the highest bidder, encouraging an unfair monopoly. Advertisers could always pay their way into number one, which had a drastic effect on user experience. But Google decided to do theirs a lot differently. Since the focus was on providing an excellent user experience at all times, their algorithm paid attention to various factors, including the relevance of the pages to a user search, the number of links, and the page quality. So no matter how many thousands of dollars an advertiser is willing to pay, all these would also factor into whether they take a top spot or not. This was definitely an improvement on Yahoo's model, and everyone wanted to use it instead of the others. Who would you confidently say is the champion of search engines? You wouldn't think twice saying Google, and it doesn't look like this would change anytime soon. Still, as we keep advancing in technology, many users have new search needs, and Google has always tried to stay updated with trends, especially in user behavior. There are tons of significant differences in how people used to search when Googling first came on board, and how they search now. Of course, there is also more worthy competition now than decades ago. With the development of new devices, users don't need to sit behind a desktop to use search engines. We have laptops, mobile phones, and tablets, a lot of them with voice technology, to buy and search on the go. Google is actively integrated into our everyday life, And other companies like Apple and Amazon are not so far behind either. Think about the fact that there's a huge chance you have an active Gmail account. With this fully integrated into smartphones, you have a digital footprint with records of pretty much everywhere you go or have been to, your contacts, and even your work industry. Google took it a lot further with lots of other products, especially Google Docs, which is a favorite among many. Apple brought Siri on board, and you can command this software to find the nearest grocery store. You can tell Alexa to order anything from Amazon, look up your doctor's appointment on your mobile phone, and surf through social apps to check in on your location. Sure, Google has a history of outperforming other search engines, but do they have what it takes to keep on being ahead of the competition with constant changes in user behavior and technology? That is left for us to find out in a few years. One of the biggest threats to their dominance of the internet is voice search. If we could just order our phones to buy things with Amazon leading in this department, what chance does Google have to stay on board? Amazon came up with Echo voice search technology, which has asserted its dominance in the world of online shopping. There are also more people using ad block technology, and we know how Google makes a lot of its dollars from advertising. With ad blocking software from Apple, this could be a showstopper for Google. Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook, has a reputation for jumping on any social media trend that he believes will work with his business. So we have Facebook moving from just being a social media platform to a website for referrals, shopping, live streaming, getting news updates, and pretty much everything. There's no telling that they won't jump on search-focused features anytime soon and be a huge threat to the dominance of Google. Will Google keep controlling the internet? In recent times, there have been growing concerns about how much of your data Google has access to. Some other search engine companies have noticed this and are coming up with features that don't need access to that much data. For example, DuckDuckGo has started growing in popularity since it's a search engine that doesn't track or sell user data to companies or governments. They also deliver a strong user experience alongside their high-quality search results, just like Google. Since Google set the results for how search engines should work, this is a major reason for their dominance. However, with other companies coming up with new standards, Google could become irrelevant someday when they can't meet up to those standards. Huge brands like Facebook, Apple, and Amazon already have a seat at this table, and it would be interesting to watch as events unfold. Google keeps coming up with new products to stop itself from sinking in the search engine environment, but there's no doubt that the Google empire would be around for a long time, as they have managed to infiltrate every aspect of our living. Now you know all about the company that controls the internet, and that's a wrap. Do you think that Google has access to too much data and users should cut down on using it? Let us know in the comments. Did you like this video? Well, we're always posting amazing content like this, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching.